Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Dedan Tolbert Show. I am your host, Dedan Tolbert. Back live again this morning. I want to get back to Ask Dedan. Many of you know I'm a life coach, advice columnist. I do a lot of things, public speaking, and I get a lot of advice questions. In fact, last week's show on Greek life was that derived from an Ask Dedan advice question that someone had about Greek life, and many people had about pledging, fraternities, sororities, and so I came back. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. It's actually shaping out to be one of my highest rated shows that I've done in a very long time. So thank you for that. If you did not see it, you can check out the archives at DedanTolbertShow.com. I got a lot of positive feedback from Greeks. I got positive feedback from non-Greeks. Just saying thank you. Like, wow, I enjoyed this show. I didn't hear not one negative comment about it. Not one, you shouldn't have said this, you shouldn't have done that. Like, it was just a positive show where I answered some questions about what we all know about, what we all have heard about. We've all heard about Greek life. So check out the show if you guys, if you didn't get a chance to listen in. Today, though, I want to get back to dating, relationships. One of the things I've found is, women have a lot of questions about why they're not being chosen. Women, single women specifically, are unsure of what they're doing wrong. And I don't even want to say it like that, but why men are not choosing them as a wife. Women are saying, and they're asking me specifically, which is the title of today's show, he will have sex with me, but he won't commit to me. What is that? He will F me. I'm good enough to be his F buddy, his sex partner, his jump off, his friend with benefits, his cuddy buddy, his sneaky link, whatever you want to call it. Why will that same man then turn around and marry someone 6 months later? Why will that same man take this woman out on a date, but I only get to come over to the house on Friday night after midnight? He texts me asking, are you still up? Let me ask you, ladies, you ever gotten that text? You ever got that text like, hey, what you doing? What am I doing? I'm asleep. It's 12 o'clock at night. But y'all don't say that. You get that call. Hey, what's up? What you doing? You sleep? No, I'm not asleep. I'm up. I'm still awake. Knowing darn well you sleep. You tired as hell. You got to work the next morning. But you're willing to allow that man to come over to the crib and have sex with you just because you want something from him. You're not going to get everything from him. You're not going to get a commitment from him, but just his penis inside you is what you're willing to accept. And that's the focus of today's show, which is, I want love, but why is he not committing to me? And then we have, so on top, the subtopic of that is, well, if he doesn't want me, I have X, Y, and Z. I got this qualification, this certification, this degree, this doctorate. I've achieved this much financially, educationally. He must be intimidated by me. If he doesn't want me, it's because I make $150,000 and he makes $65,000. He makes $50,000. That's the only possible explanation for why that man would not want this woman. And I have to tell y'all, ladies, it's more than that. It's way more than that. So let's jump into it. I want to talk about it. If you, like I said, though, this is Ask Dedan Advice Hour, if you want to call it that. Check out the website, trclifecoaching.com. When you get some time, you can kind of peruse to see what it is that I do, who I am, if you're unfamiliar. If you have questions that you would like to submit, you can send them to askdedan@gmail.com. Well, let's jump into it, man. Again, this is a Friends of the Dedan Tolbert Show exclusive. If you're not already in the group, add yourselves. We have great discussions in there every day. Check out the group. Follow me on YouTube, all that good stuff. But let's jump into it. So, our black, we say men, but let's keep it real. Let's really talk about what we all want to talk about. Is, are black men intimidated by successful black women? And the clear answer to that is no. You know what I mean? It's just no, we're not. And what is often mistaken for intimidation is actually just, we don't want you. You know what I mean? It's not that we don't want her or her or her. We just don't want you. And that's no disrespect to you, ladies, but he's not intimidated by it. So what would make a woman say that? He's intimidated, but what could you have? Well, what we're seeing now is, in 2025, black women are more successful now than they've ever been. Financially, we're seeing more women with master's degrees, doctoral degrees. They're rising up through the corporate ladder, assistant vice president, president of this, regional director of that. And so, judges, law school. You guys are doing your thing. Congratulations to you. We're seeing more black home ownership than we've ever seen before. And a lot of that is our single black women. So congratulations to you. I want to give props to you guys as black women for doing your thing. Many of you would and will make great wives from a financial standpoint. The only problem with that is men are not marrying women for your financial status. Let me repeat that. We are not marrying you based on what you bring to the table financially. Do y'all know that? Because I know it's men aren't, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's really saying that. No one's really giving y'all the truth. You got a bunch of these fake relationship gurus who are more worried about subscribers and likes and going viral, so they just pander to you women, so they're not telling you the truth. And it's like going to a doctor. You know what I mean? You're going to a doctor because you don't feel good. So you go into the doctor's office. Doctor says, okay, so how are you feeling? And you say, oh no, doc, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. I just got my hair done, doc. I just went to the gym. I just bought a new outfit, this new training outfit, for me to go to the gym, looks good on me. I bought some new sneakers. The doc is like, okay, but you inside, you don't feel good. You don't tell the doctor what's going on in your stomach, that pain you got in your side, that pain you got in your leg, the headaches you're getting, whatever you're going through. You're not telling him that. Y'all don't even talk about that. You're talking about what's on the surface. So it would be irresponsible for the doctor to not address what's actually the problem with you. The doctor doesn't care about your sneakers, your hair done. You guys catch the analogy? These men looking for a wife are not focused on the material things, the things on the external. We care about what's going on inside of you. And so these fake relationship experts, they are, for these fake pastors even, they're not even talking about the fact that you have a sneaky link, the fact that you're having a friend with benefits, you're getting smashed off on the weekends. You're not even factoring that into why you're single, right? You're not even talking about the real issue, the fact that you're still in love with an ex from 10 years ago. The fact that you go on these girls' trips and you have, you're promiscuous. And I'm not knocking anybody, I'm not judging your lifestyle, but at the same time, you can't expect a godly man, a Christian man, to say, I want this woman as my wife, when you got a friend with benefits. Why is no one talking about that? Why does no one bring that up when we talk about why these women are not being chosen? Well, who are you having sex with? Because the popular consensus, what people would like to believe and think is that it's okay to do whatever you want to do while you're single. You can go out to these happy hours with your girlfriends, and you call so-and-so over to do what he does with you. And then when that's over with, you'll be found. You think that you go to church and meet a godly man and you'll still be able to fornicate during the week. Fornicate during the week. And then get a godly man who'll meet you and sweep you off your feet in church. You really think that works? Does that even make sense? I'm just asking, do you think that makes sense? So what that does is that just canceled out everything. That cancels out the 401k. That cancels out the house you just bought. That cancels out the brand new BMW that you just leased. That cancels out that perfect credit score that you have. None of that matters. You think God cares about your credit score? If you're fornicating with some dude who comes over and treats you like his slut, his whore, you know what I mean? Like does all types of, nasty things. Y'all out here getting y'all asses ate by dudes who don't even know or care about none of that. But you want your future husband to care about that. All those accolades. Your sneaky link doesn't care about your accolades. You don't brag about that to him. Do you? No, you don't. Don't lie to me. So watch this. This is what happened. So you go out on these dating apps. And then you meet these guys with all these, they have their accolades, and you compare. It's like a comparison. Well, I got this, or you got this, I got this, you got that. And so now it's like this power struggle. It's this internal power struggle. It's like who has more accolades? You're competing. See, the problem with that is, ladies, a man isn't going to compete with you. He's not going to compete with you for what you got. You think these men care? They got their own money. They don't care about your money. So what I'm saying to you, you're throwing this stuff in his face. You're throwing your accolades in his face. But the guy that comes over to blow your back out on a Thursday night after the happy hour, how come y'all don't even talk about that stuff? Because he's a street nigga. Wow, this is deep. You want a godly man, and a guy's got to make $100,000 a year. You ask a woman, what does a man have to do to get with you? You say, well, he's got to make 6 figures. Why? He's got to have a college degree. He's got to love God, and he's got to make 6 figures if he wants to date me. What? Why? Why does he have to make 6 figures? Why does he have to even go to church? Why does he have to have a college degree when the guy that you're having sex with already has none of those things? I'm just asking a simple question. Does that make any sense? Ask yourselves that question. You know the man you're having sex with does not make 6 figures. You know he doesn't have a college degree. You know he's not even a Christian. Are you even a Christian? But we'll come back. We'll come back to that. We'll come back. We'll come back to it. But so if a man can get your most valuable jewel, which is your body, your vagina, that ass, he can ravage you sexually for free. We have these debates about, I don't go to Olive Garden. I don't go to Fridays. I don't go to Cheesecake Factory. You don't? Well, where did he take you? What restaurant did Tyrone take you before he had sex with you last night? He didn't take you nowhere. Y'all must be like, am I living in a twilight zone? Like, am I the only one that asks these questions? Because it makes no sense whatsoever to expect a man like myself or a great man out here. You want to put these stipulations on what we have to do to date you when Tyrone has no stipulations. What are the stipulations for him to get that ass? What does he have to do? Anything? I'm just asking. What does Tyrone have to do because men are intimidated by you? Why? Because he doesn't want to take you out. Well, why should he take you out when he doesn't have to take you out? You guys see where I'm going? I want to take my time with that because that is the number one reason why so many black women are single. No one wants to talk about it. That's the number one reason. You say, well, what's that? It's sex. It's sex. Y'all don't want to stop having sex. You don't. I mean, like I said, I don't care about likes and followers and all that. I don't need none of that. I'm just being honest with you. That's why I'm able to be honest with you. Y'all don't want to stop having sex. You don't. So let me put it to you this way. So if you go on social media right now, right, and I'm sure you know, you may be single. You might even be tuned in today specifically because the title caught your eye. Because you could relate to the title. He'll have sex with me, but won't commit to me. You said, yo, let me click on this link because I saw it. So my question to you is, are you celibate? And how many women that are also single are celibate? So then the question then becomes, if you're not celibate, because we all know the answer to that. Let's not even play that game. We know the answer to that is no, you're not celibate. So if because you're not celibate, and I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you at all. You don't want to be celibate, that's fine. But I'm just explaining to you that your lack of celibacy prevents you from a man taking you seriously. So it doesn't mean that he's intimidated by you. It's just that he's not going to commit to you. Let me give you a different example. So back in the day when I was single, years and years ago, I would meet women. Now, granted, I was looking for a wife. I was seeking a wife. My friends were seeking a wife. So then the question was, all right, so what qualities do we want her to have? Well, we would meet these women who were freaks, right? They would be in the clubs. They would be dressing provocatively, so that automatically put them into the sex category from the jump, right? That automatically disqualified or eliminated any chance of us taking them seriously. But so they were just sex partners, potential sex partners. You bring them over to the crib. You don't take them out. Y'all talking about going out to Cheesecake Factory. How about you're not getting taken nowhere? You know what I mean? How about that? How about you just, because y'all know what I'm talking about. These men aren't even taking y'all out nowhere, let alone y'all saying y'all don't want to go to Fridays. Y'all don't want to go to Applebee's. Some of y'all would love to go to Applebee's because it would be better than you just coming over to the crib and getting smashed on the couch. I bet you when you look at it like that, Applebee's isn't so bad after all, is it? You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all would love to go to Applebee's. It's like, well, that beats the pizza, cold pizza. He just heated up. He's like, oh, I just ordered a pizza last night. You want me to heat up a slice for you before I smash? And that's the treatment some of y'all get. So all I'm saying is don't turn your noses up to Applebee's. Don't turn your nose up to Chili's when some of y'all don't even get taken there. Y'all will go there with your girlfriends. You'll go with any of these places I just named with your girlfriends, and you would love to go there with a man. So don't let Kendra G and all these other women, put you into some type of false sense of reality where you wouldn't go to Applebee's with a great man. Okay, let's stop that right now. Some of y'all would love to go to Applebee's and get the 2 for $20. And he might use a Groupon. Don't try to turn your noses up, ladies, because you're 45 and with no prospects. And I'm not bashing you. But I'm being honest, and I want you to be honest. We have to at some point be honest about what's actually happening. You are having sex with your no good deadbeat baby dad, and you've been having sex with him for the last 7 years, trying to date these other guys, wondering why nobody's taking you seriously. I don't know. Maybe it's because you're having sex with your deadbeat baby dad. You're saying you're calling these men intimidated by you. How? You're having sex with some dude who doesn't even pay child support. He doesn't even pay child support. And you're still letting him smash whenever he wants. And you have the audacity to say he's intimidated by you? Intimidated for what? What is he intimidated of? How are you making $100,000 a year at your job and you letting some no good nigga beat it up every night and you want somebody to be intimidated by you? Come on. He's not intimidated. We smell the stench of him on you. And it's a spiritual stench that men can pick up on, and it's an immediate turnoff. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all ever go out with a man and you like him? I was talking to one of my homies about this the other day. You go out with a man you actually like, but you want to make him jump through the hoops to get you, to date you or have sex with you or whatever. And women have actually said, I won't have sex with him because I like him. Like, what? What do you mean? But if I don't like you, I'll let you, I have sex with that dude because I don't like him. So I don't care. If he hurts me, it won't be, it really won't affect me. Although it will affect you, but in your mind, it won't affect you because you don't have feelings for him. So you don't mind letting him have sex with you. But if you actually like someone, he's got to take you out. He's got to wine and dine you. He's got to write you love letters. He's got to text you, good morning, beautiful. He's got to do all these things. But the guy you really don't like and you know you don't have a future with, you'll let him have sex with you. Does anybody want to explain that to me? And I'm not asking you to, comment publicly and put yourself on blast. You don't have to put it in the chat. But just ask yourself how much sense that makes. Because an intelligent man like myself, I want you to ask yourself, do you think if I was single and when I was single, do you think I was that guy whining and dining these women, knowing full well you were giving up that ass to somebody else? I want you to ask yourself, I want you to look at me, and I want you to ask yourself, do you think I would have done that? Please, just let me know if you think I would have done that. because to me, I honestly can't even really say that with a straight face without laughing. I talk to my buddies, and it's just like, it makes no sense. I mean, here's the thing. This is crazy. As little sense as that made when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and even mid 20s, it made no sense back then. Imagine how much littler sense that makes, and you're 45. And that's no disrespect. I'm not age shaming, but I think you get my point. I think you get my point. Like, if you couldn't play those games with a real man when you were 25 or even 35, what the hell makes you think you can play those games at 45 with 2 kids? I'm just, it baffles my soul. It perplexes me that you have these women out here who think that men like myself would be intimidated by a woman who is actively dating multiple men. So let me explain something to you guys. So men, I'm competitive, right? I play basketball twice a week. I like to play video games with my buddies, play Madden, I play tennis. I'm in a tennis league. I like to play my son in basketball and sport like PlayStation, whatever, NBA 2K. I'm just a competitive person. I just want to be the best in everything that I do, and we as men are naturally competitive, and we will compete for, we'll compete to get sex, right? Like if I see a beautiful woman walking down the street, I'll compete with this man to get that ass, if that's what he's into. Men will compete to get a beautiful woman sexually. But one thing that men will never do, like real men, is compete for a woman's heart. You watch these Tyler Perry movies and you see like guys like Shamar Moore or these other weirdos in these movies that are clearly written by a homosexual man, because no straight man would ever, come up with some foolishness like this. But they're not going to compete for a woman's heart. Like if I know that you still have feelings for somebody else, and I know that you're dealing with somebody else, I'll maybe have sex with you. He can have sex with you. I'll have sex with you. But I'm not going to compete for your love. I'm not going to wine and dine you if I know that your heart is already spoken for. So how I treat you will be indicative of the situation that you're in, right? How I treat you is going to be determined by, are you emotionally available? Let me ask you a question. Did anyone, a few months ago, I did a 3-part special, and this probably was one of the most informative specials that I've done on Are You Wife Material. If you did not hear that, if you're listening to this show, but you didn't hear that show, where I talked about, part 1 was about personality, and your attitude. Part 2 was about emotional availability. Are you emotionally available to have love? Part 3, I talked about the physical. I talked about the spiritual. I talked about, respectability, and I talked about all those things. It was a 6-hour special. So, you're not going to find that information anywhere else. So go to DaDonTolbertShow.com. All 3 parts are there. Friends of the Dedan Tolbert Show group. They're all posted up in the highlight section to listen to. But I would listen to that, because I'm not going to go as deep on this show. But that was an all-inclusive show that will answer the question of, are you wife material? And, it's sad to say that many of you are not. I do life coaching, and the life coaching, and I've had thousands of testimonies from women like yourself. Go to trclifecoaching.com. You can go, click on testimonies, and you'll see how I've changed women's lives over the years, and to help them mold themselves into the type of woman that a man would want to marry. Some of y'all women, a man doesn't want to marry. My wife is the type of woman I wanted to marry. Some of you are not able to effectively differentiate between wife material and a good time. Ladies, I hate to tell you, a fat ass, a big butt, nice breasts does not make you wife material. It doesn't. You think, it may seem like common sense, but it's not. Many women really think, oh, if I got a fat ass, if I'm a freak, I could get me a man. That's why you're seeing so many women getting BBLs. Now, a lot of these women getting BBLs are strippers, and they're doing it for financial gain because that they're able to go into these clubs and get a lot of money, with this new body. But there's that piece of it. But many women, are actually getting this work done, these boob jobs. You've had 2 kids, you've had 3 kids. You're like, I want to get my breasts done, so you can get a man. And I'm just trying to tell you that's not going to help you get a man. I don't like fake breasts. I don't like fake asses. I think they look crazy. I like a natural ass. I'm just being honest with you. My wife has 2 kids. I got 2 kids. I like her natural ass. That might be TMI, but guess what? I prefer natural breasts, and I prefer a natural ass. Why are y'all going and getting all this work done and then expecting men to want to be with you? It makes no sense whatsoever. But then y'all want to say he's intimidated by me. Intimidated of what? What do you mean intimidated? Like, intimidated how? What do you bring? I don't understand. I'm on social media. I interact with professional women every day. I'm out and about. I see women every day. Good women, professional women. I have yet to meet a woman that I was intimidated by. I can't understand it. And I'm talking about, I make a good living, but even back in the day, when I didn't have a lot of money or anything like that, I was never intimidated. I don't even know what that means. How are you? I can't even respect men that are intimidated by other men, let alone women. You know what I'm saying? You're intimidated by men. So I can't even respect you on that level. I mean, I just don't get it. The way my dad raised me, it was like, as a man, I raised my son the same way. You meet a man, I don't care if he's the president, I don't care if he's who he is. You shake that man's hand, you look him in the eye, and you leave it at that. He's just a man. Donald Trump is just a man. Barack Obama is just a man. I'm not intimidated by no man. So why would I be intimidated by a woman? It doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying to you? It's not logical. So I'm spending time on this so you ladies understand that a real man is not going to be intimidated by anything you bring to the table. Not your house, not your 401k, not your job, your promotion, none of that. None of that. But you've got to ask yourself, what are some turnoffs? And again, listen to the 6-hour special I did on Are You Wife material, because I went into great detail on what we're turned off by. Some of y'all got a head full of weave. Some of y'all got your face caked up with makeup, trying to hide your imperfections, as if we're not going to see them at some point anyway. Some of y'all are dressing like you should be going to a strip club. How do you show up on a first date with your ass out and your breast out? You got your stomach out. Why you got your stomach? Oh, God, y'all gonna get me in trouble, man. Stop it. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. I don't know if this is just a fashion trend or what, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but I am not, I'm going to say it like this, Tyson Beckford, any of these guys. Like, I'm not no big diesel dude. So I'm not going to go out the house with a wife beater on trying to show off my muscles. That would be crazy, right? As crazy as I would look doing that is as crazy as some of y'all look walking around outside with these crop tops on. That what you call crop tops? Or, your stomachs be out. Like, bro, your stomach isn't even flat. Forget, let alone not having a six pack. It's not even flat. In fact, it's protruding outwardly. I'm not trying to bash y'all. I'm not being disrespectful to y'all, but I'm just saying you gotta be sensible. Know your body type, ladies. Don't wear a shirt with your stomach out if your stomach is not flat, right? It doesn't make sense to do that. I'm just giving y'all can be mad at me. You can disregard what I'm saying to you, but stop wearing the tight stuff like you're 25. Wear clothes. If you're fat, if you're overweight, that's fine. Get in the gym, work it out. But in the meantime, wear clothes that fit your body type, ladies. If you're only getting men trying to bring you over to the crib, it's probably because he's embarrassed to be out with you. Why would I take a woman out anywhere if you're not presentable? If I'm embarrassed to be around you? I'll tell you a story. I dealt with this woman back in the day, and she was one of the most amazing bodies I've ever seen at that time. She was my type physically. Light skin, long hair, probably a D cup breast size, maybe C cup, D cup, flat stomach, six pack, nice ass, she worked out, natural beauty, no need for makeup, none of that stuff, no weave in her hair, like naturally long hair, very beautiful woman. And so you might be thinking like, oh, what happened with her? Well, we agreed to go out on a date, and she showed up on the date, and she had this like, she had jeans on, her stomach was out, and the shirt that she had on was like see where this Adidas is? This was all out. So her breasts were covered by like right there, but like all this was out and exposed. And I'm looking like, visually, it looked appealing as a man, but I don't even believe she was wearing a bra. I'm just looking like, I didn't even want to go out with her. To be honest with you, I didn't want to take her out. I didn't even want to be seen with her. I was embarrassed, to be honest with you. I'm like, people might think I'm out with a stripper. With a stripper or a prostitute even. Some of y'all look like prostitutes. Because I think what's happened is we've gotten away from fathers, who were checking their daughters on the outfits that they wore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, when a woman would come down the steps in an outfit and dad would be in the living room watching TV, and if the skirt was too short, if the shirt was too revealing, if the pants were too tight, dad was like, yo, go back upstairs. Take that off. You're not going out the house like that. Why, Dad? Why? There's nothing wrong with it. Get your ass back upstairs. And she went back upstairs and she changed her clothes. We have gotten away from, society has gotten away from fathers being fathers. There's no accountability. I see these women out here, like, even that woman, where was her dad? Where was her dad to say, you're not going out of the house like that? And you can't, after a certain point, like my daughter's 13, she doesn't dress like that. And guess what? She won't. You know what I'm saying? But after a certain point, once she gets to a certain age, she's not listening to dad no more. She's going out of the house wearing wherever she wants. By the time she gets your age, it's too late. Dad has no influence over you. You might love your dad if you know him at all, but it's like, it's too late. So I'm saying the dads have to start raising these little girls to respect their bodies. Because as a woman, you're going to act how you were raised. So some of y'all are going out of the house like you didn't have a father growing up. And some of you didn't. And that's fine. But that's okay to not have had a father. But you still at some point have to be like, you know what? I'm still going to have respect for myself. And I posted in the group yesterday a meme about Ciara. I guess she has a new album coming out. And she has a flyer for it. And she's bent over, arching her back with her ass poked out. And I'm just looking like, that's not appealing to me. It's not appealing to me as a man. Okay, cool. She's not my type anyway. She's tall. I mean, she's just not my type. But what's the real problem with it is that she's a mom. She has kids. Like Beyonce has kids. Kim Kardashian has kids. These are people, and all I can do is think about, wow, like what are those little girls going to think about when they look at their mom bent over with her back arched, like she's about to take it from the back? And it's like, what kind of man is okay with that? What kind of man is okay with his daughter seeing their mom dressed like that? I can't respect Russell Wilson. People, oh my God, he's such a great man. How? Because he allows his wife to. You see the award show we talked about in the group. They went to some award show or some banquet or wherever it was. She was literally butt naked. She had a see-through outfit on. I can't respect that. How do you respect a man that allows his wife to walk out that? Kanye West allows his wife to walk out like that? Kanye has his own issues. But it's like, come on, man. Russell Wilson? Y'all talk about Russell Wilson like he's some great guy. No, a great real man, a real Christian man would not marry a woman who presents herself like that. Now, you get the people, the men and the women, defending that. Well, she's an entertainer. She's an entertainer. What do you mean she's an entertainer? So what? Patti LaBelle was an entertainer too. Gladys Knight was an entertainer too. Aretha Franklin made music encouraging women to respect. RESPECT. You're going to respect her. I don't respect Ciara. I don't respect Beyonce, Rihanna. How do you respect someone like that? People act like you can't be respectable and be an entertainer. I don't get it. Like, you act like some of the most respected entertainers were not respectable. You act like society has brainwashed people into thinking just because you're an entertainer, you have to subscribe to this whole sex sells culture, which you don't. You don't. You do not have to subscribe to that. So why do we act like we put these women up on a pedestal? And those same women are the same ones talking about he's intimidated by it because you emulate that. The problem with you is this is where y'all get it confused. You see men lusting after women on IG. You think Ciara, you don't get it. Ciara she has a husband. She has kids. She's already rich. She's just doing that for popularity and clout. Y'all are actually trying to get a man. So you're emulating Ciara. You're emulating Beyonce. Thinking that these men, it worked for them, maybe it'll work for me. No, it's not going to work for you. One, you don't look like Ciara. Your back being arched it looks a little different than CeCe. You know what I'm saying? You doing what Beyonce is doing, it doesn't quite look the same. Help me out. I don't know what's different. I don't know. You tell me what's different about you and Beyonce. And Beyonce is not even attractive. Beyonce is not even attractive. You never heard me say, see, y'all got it twisted. Y'all got it twisted. And I've told y'all this for 20 years. I've been telling y'all this for 20 years. Beyonce is not and has not ever been on anyone's top 5 list, top 3 list, top of the list. Never. Never. Not in no barbershops, not in no nothing. Group chats. Y'all really think men out here want Beyonce? Y'all really think men out here want Cardi B? Megan Thee Stallion? Come on. Oh my God. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all are out here trying to look like Megan Thee Stallion, not knowing that men think she looks like a tranny. She looks like a man. Megan Thee Stallion looks like a man. You could not pay me enough to have sex with Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, she's disgusting. She looks ridiculous twerking. You know what I mean? Sierra's about 10 feet tall. You know what I mean? It's like, stop it. So I'm just telling y'all these things so that when you do these things and a man doesn't respond to it the way you think he should or the way you would like him to, it's not that he's intimidated by you. It's that he just doesn't want you. We'll take a Zoe Saldana. Y'all know who Zoe Saldana is? Zoe Saldana. Beautiful. Okay? Has anybody ever seen Drumline? Has anybody ever seen Avatar? That was the sexiest alien I've ever seen, or whatever the hell they are. Whatever they are, but Zoe Saldana. We will take her over Rihanna, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, City Girls. That is what you call natural beauty. Rosario Dawson. I'm just throwing these off the top of my head. Y'all know who Rosario Dawson is. Y'all watch Daredevil. Y'all watch, I don't know, what else was she in? Alexander. Where my movie buffs at? That's all I gotta say. If you that's all you gotta say. Just Alexander. If you saw the movie Alexander, then you already know where I'm going with the Rosario. Now, women are Googling. They Googling on me. And what do you say? Alexander, they're Googling right now. We're Googling right now. Let me see what he's talking about. Yeah, you Google. Yeah, go ahead and Google. And then you know what I'm talking about when I say Rosario Dawson in Alexander. I'm telling y'all this so that you understand reality. See, most men will not tell you. I don't even follow these weirdos on these guys on social media, but they're not telling y'all reality. They're not being honest with y'all. You know, nobody is checking for the sex fiends, the freaks, the sex symbols. Do we follow them on Instagram from our burner accounts? You're damn right. Not me. I'm just, I'm just saying them. But men, they're those fake profiles? Absolutely. Because we like looking at them. That doesn't mean we want to marry them. Doesn't mean we want to commit to them. It doesn't mean we want to do anything to them outside of the bedroom. And some of y'all, most of y'all are not understanding the correlation. You're not understanding the difference between a man having sex with you and a man loving you. You're not understanding the difference between genuine interest and sexual attention. A lot of y'all get a lot of sexual attention. That ass in those tights looks good. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, not all of y'all, some of y'all know what y'all do. You put on that thong, you put on those leggings, and then you go to Target, you go to the grocery store, you go to everywhere. Y'all don't care where y'all go. Y'all wearing them damn leggings everywhere. Y'all can go to the networking event. Y'all throwing on them damn leggings, boy. I tell you, black women, y'all gotta stop, bro. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all know what y'all do. Like, I can't act like I don't know what y'all do, because y'all know what y'all do. Y'all, and it's something different. I hate to say it like this, but my son, he's in this he plays basketball. So we go to these games, these basketball games. We go to the parks, we go to these events, and we live in a suburban neighborhood. So it's mostly, most of his teammates are white. Most of the parents are white. So we go to these events, and my wife will tell you. She's non-confrontational, so she won't tell you. But I'll tell you. I want all the smoke. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I see it. I live in a white neighborhood. This house that I'm in right now is in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'm around white people. But occasionally you see the black people. Let me ask y'all a question. What is the difference between, I go to these events, we go to the parks, we go to the basketball games, and you see the black women and black moms. What do you think is the major difference between, and I'm just being honest, y'all can take it how y'all take it. What's the major difference between the black moms and the white moms? Anybody? And I'm just asking y'all a question. These are my experiences. What's the major difference that I see and everybody sees between the black moms and the white moms? I'm gonna give y'all some time. Let's play the Jeopardy music. I should ask Google to play the Jeopardy theme music. I'm not gonna do that. But one of the major differences is there's no husband, right? There's no husband. There's no husband. There's no dad. Am I lying? Somebody tell me I'm lying. You're going to tell me I go to these basketball games with my family and I see these black moms walking by themselves. You're going to tell me I'm lying. And that's not, okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is, but let's take it a step further. I really hate to put it like this. But those leggings, the tights, y'all go to these events with your asses out. You know, and I got to be honest with you. I can't sugarcoat this stuff. Yeah, you know, I'll be looking at my wife like, oh, hell, damn, you coming to the kids' basketball game like that? Ass out, BBL, thong showing. I'm like, bro, like, what? Breasts out, cleavage, you bending over, getting the baby stuff out the thing, your shirt is all, you know what I'm saying, all loose. See your whole breast, your bra showing. Looking like, damn, man, put some clothes on. You know, and I'm so you can't, and you know, and we don't see typically that from the white moms. I'm not saying anything other than what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say white women are better. I'm not trying to say none of that. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I don't see that from these other races. The Indian moms, the Middle Eastern, Pakistani moms, I don't see their thongs showing. Now maybe, I don't know, maybe when she bends over, the Pakistani mom's thong will show. But her ass in those tights and the leggings doesn't look the same. So I'm saying this, it's not that these men are intimidated by you, ladies. It's just that we don't want to see your thong. We don't want to see the G-string with the bow around it. Y'all have to work harder to present yourself in a respectable manner. You know? And I get it. You know, historically, and I talked a lot about this 2 shows ago when I talked about the parenting in the black community, where I talk about the attack on black fathers. If you didn't hear that show, you might want to go back and listen because I broke all of it down. This is all by design. Black women have been brainwashed into, when they remove the dad from the home, y'all are left vulnerable. So you don't know better. You don't know any better. Everything I'm saying now should have been taught to you by your father. This isn't me saying this. This should have been told to you by your dad. Tell me, some of y'all, this might hurt some feelings. But tell me, what am I saying now that your dad should not have told you? Or that I won't tell my own daughter? Why? You see what I'm saying to you? Like, I was walking with my son. I might have told y'all this story before. Me and my son were walking to the park. I take him to the park. He's a basketball. He likes to shoot around in the summertime. So it was last summer, and we were walking to the park, and you see 2 little girls. You know, they were walking. That's how these girls do it in these suburban neighborhoods, or just all over. They walk around in twos. They was walking around these neighborhoods, you know, asses out, breasts out, trying to get, getting pregnant by these guys. I see it all the time. Like, where are they walking to? Like, where do y'all just be walking around? You know what I mean? Like, where are the dads? Back in the day, my sister was not allowed to just walk around. Like, my daughter doesn't just walk around with her girlfriends, trying to pick up guys. It's ridiculous. This girl was walking around, and she was my son's age. He's like a little 12-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl. Her whole ass was out. I said, yo, bro, I tell you what, yo, Will, man, when you get a little older, man, stay away from fast asses like that, man. There was nothing but trouble. You could tell she doesn't. I wish my daughter would be walking around like that. And where was she walking to? She was walking to the basketball court. She was going the same place we going to. And where the hell you going? Why are you going to the basketball court? You don't play ball. You know why she was going there, and I know why she was going there. Little 13-year-old girl with her whole ass out. When I say ass out, I don't mean like out. I mean, she had on some Daisy Duke shorts that they were so high, the whole butt cheek was out. And you think those little boys up there won't be wanting to look at that? Of course. And then you wonder why she's pregnant. Pregnant at 13, 14. It's just despicable. Despicable. I told Will, man, I said, bro, stay away from that, man. Don't get caught up. Don't even wrap it up, man. Don't deal with them. That same little girl will grow up 20 years from now, 33, 43 even, talking about he just is intimidated by my success. What? You smoking? That's what it is. The same little girls that were walking around at 12 years old, 13-year-old trying to get a man, fast ass is having sex at 13 and been having sex nonstop. Got the audacity to talk about he's intimidated by my success at 45 years old. That's why he doesn't want to take me out. Are you delusional? Are you crazy? Some of y'all really believe that. How intimidated of what? You were 13 years old having sex. That is not the type of woman that we want. Ladies, can I tell y'all something? Can y'all please try to keep y'all numbers down, man? Like, I know society would want you to believe, we can't judge. But again, if we're talking today about men being intimidated by your success, how do you have a body count that's in the 30s, the 40s, talking about he's intimidated by my success? Do you think that doesn't matter? Do you think that doesn't play a factor in anything? It does. What do you think this is? Y'all talking about, are you serious? How is your body count in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s, or if you haven't lost count at all, and you have the audacity to talk about he's intimidated by my success? I don't understand this way of thinking. I don't. I mean, I do, but you get it. It's craziness. It's really crazy. Stop having, you don't have to have sex with every man that you date. You don't. It's okay, guys, to go on a date with somebody and just not have sex with them. At the end of the day, it's okay to do that. I was watching this is interesting. I was just talking to my buddies. We got a group where we talk about TV shows and things and movies. And there was a clip of Sanaa Lathan. Remember when Boris Cujo and Nicole Ari Parker had their talk show? They had Sanaa Lathan on the show. And Nicole Ari Parker went to ask her. She was like, yeah, so I understand you dated my husband back in the day. Or you went on a date with my husband back in the day. And she was like, yeah, he looks so good. And I mean, look at him. Who wouldn't have want Boris back when he was 20? She went on and on how attractive he was. And Nicole Ari Parker was like, oh, okay. She was like, but obviously we didn't have a love connection or anything like that. And they laughed it off. They joked about it. But what they didn't say is the fact that Boris smashed. You know what I mean? That he had sex with Sanaa Lathan back in the 20s. Because think about it. Y'all know how celebrities get down nowadays anyway, but come on. Like, bars, you really think Sanaa was not giving up that ass to him back in the day? It was apparent to anyone who watched that interview, they had sex. And so fast forward, Sanaa's, 45? How old is Sanaa Lathan? I mean, she's at least 45, 50 at this point, single. So I'm just telling y'all this, regardless how attractive somebody is, what you think he has going on, you don't have to have sex with him. Because the more and more you do that, the less desirable you are. Nobody wants to talk about this, but, I buy and sell cars, right? So the more miles you put on a car, you buy a car brand new off the lot, you drive it off the lot. What happens to that vehicle the moment you drive off the lot? Anybody? Raise it. The car depreciates in value. The moment you drive off the car, you try to bring it back and say, hey, I want to trade this car in, they're going to give you about $10,000 at least less than what you paid for it. Why? You just drove it off because it's no longer new. It's now used. Right? It's a used car now. Used cars are going to be less expensive, less valuable. So what happens is, the more and more you drive the vehicle, what happens? You start having problems with the car. You got to get the oil changed. Some of y'all need y'all vaginas changed, but I'm just saying that you got to get maintenance on the vehicle. You might have to put a new engine in it. You might have to, the transmission might start slipping. Why? Because it's been driven. It's been driven and driven and driven and driven and driven. So you start having problems. And the value, when it was up here as a new car, now it's down here. The value has depreciated because of how much it's been driven. Is anyone, where I'm going with this? The more y'all have sex, you start having problems and problems and problems. Spiritual problems. That's it. That's all I need to say about it. Spiritual problems. Because everything that happens after, baby daddy problems, STD problems, I got my heart broken problems. Those are all problems that originate from sex. So if you catch the analogy, some of y'all are driving brand new cars. That's ironic. I see y'all women out here, y'all be driving brand new cars, brand new Acuras, BMWs, brand new Hyundai, Santa Fe, Mercedes. Ironically, y'all got brand new cars, but used vaginas. That's crazy. Y'all car doesn't have 200,000 miles on it. Your car doesn't have 300,000 miles on it, but your vagina does. That ass does. Let me explain something to y'all. 30 sexual partners is the literal equivalent. Oh my God, this is a great analogy. 30 sexual partners, 30 bodies is the equivalent to a vehicle that has 300,000 miles on it. Not even 100,000. Not even 100,000. I would say 10 bodies in today's society, and that's being generous, would be the equivalent to a car that has 100,000. Some of y'all wouldn't even want a car that has 100,000. Some of y'all are bougie, and y'all be, oh, no, that's too many miles. 20 is 200,000. 30 bodies or more is the literal equivalent to having a vehicle with 300,000 miles on it. Now, that vehicle, I just sold a car with 300,000 miles on it, and guess what? It ran pretty good. It ran pretty good. But guess what? A lot of people didn't want to buy it. I sold it. Somebody will buy it. But no, more people did not want to buy that car. I said, what's the miles on it? I said 300,000. Whoa, 300,000. I mean, it is what it is. You want it or not. I mean, but the point is, people turn their nose up at it. Y'all get my point. I don't have to, beat a dead horse, but I gotta stop. I gotta keep these numbers down, man. There's that analogy is real. That in over 20 years, that may be the realest analogy I've ever given. But y'all may be asking yourself, well, how does he know? I don't, I'm not gonna tell him. You just run a Carfax. Just like how many miles a car has on it. You know how many bodies that vagina got on it. You got the Carfax for women. You got a Hofax. You just run the Hofax. What's a Hofax? They don't. We have our ways of knowing. So let me move on. I got a couple more things to talk to y'all about. So, but y'all see where I'm going with this though, and how it's not about intimidation. It's not about that. It's about what we want. It's about personal preference. It's about, what we want for our life. It's not, I don't want a woman with a high body count. I don't want a woman who weighs 300 pounds, a woman who has sex on the first date. All these things. It doesn't matter how much money you make. I talk to men every day. These men aren't worried about how much money you make. A man is going to provide for his family regardless. Whatever you make is icing on the cake. That's icing on the cake. That's an added bonus. It's not something that a man says is you don't get points for that. That's not a factor. See, women have been brainwashed and misled into thinking your financial status is going to be what appeals to a man. Well, what about your emotional availability? What about your respectability? What about your personality? What about your mentality? Those are the things that matter. There was a meme. We talked about this in the group, and it said that men. There was a question asking, why are so many men dating younger women? And that's a misconception. I mean, to a certain extent, men typically date younger. Women typically date older by a few years. I don't know too many 40 plus who are dating 20-year-olds. I don't know any 50-year-olds that want a 25-year-old. I don't really see that. My wife and I are around the same age. Most men I know who are married, their wives are around the same age. Maybe, 2 or 3 years younger, things like that. But it's not that we want younger women. It's just that we don't want women who look old. And some of y'all aren't getting that. Some of y'all don't know that we don't want women who look their age. I don't believe my wife looks her age. She's always looked younger than what she is. Some of y'all look, if you're 45, some of y'all look 45. But then again, there are other women who are 45 that could pass for 35. I don't think I look my age. You might think so. I don't think I look 47. Y'all might think otherwise, but I'm 47 years old. So typically a man, wants a woman who looks younger, who takes care of herself. And that's what you got to focus on. So that's just a question that was asked. Why are so many men dating these younger women? It's not that. You know what I mean? But who wants to date a woman you can be 60. If he's 60, how many 60-year-olds want to date a woman who's 60 or a woman who looks like she's 60? Think about that. If a man is 50, if I was single right now, let me ask y'all a question. You think I could pull a 35-year-old? Yes or no? Yes or no? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. You can say yes. You can say yes. You can say no. I could really care less. But I think I could. You see what I'm saying to you? So if a 47-year-old man can get a 35-year-old woman who probably looks 30, why would he want to date a woman who's actually 45 and looks like she's 50? I don't want y'all to misconstrue what I'm saying. Don't think that if you're 45, it's over for you. No, you just got to take care of yourself. You just got to not, you know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself. A lot of women don't take care of themselves. You know what I mean? Some of y'all focus more on your credit than you do your body. That's not right. That's backwards. You shouldn't spend more time in your office than you do. Well, I was going to say in the gym, but obviously you're going to spend more time in your office, but you should still be going to the gym. You should still be working out. You should still be running. You should still be exercising. You should still take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Every day you should be exerting. They say at least 30 minutes of strenuous exercise per day is good for your heart and for your fitness. Now sex doesn't count, guys. All right? Sex is not what I mean by like you getting up on top and going crazy or surfboard. What did Beyonce is? Surfboard. We all know what the surfboard was and what that really means. But I'm not talking about the surfboard. I'm talking about actual exercise. Right? Actual physical stimulation. Not sexual stimulation. Some of y'all say, yo, I want you to go back through the fraternity show again. Go back to that show. Well, guess what, guys? Everything isn't going to be all hunky-dory, all peaches and, you know what I mean? Peachy keen. That's what they say. You know, sometimes I got to be honest with y'all, man. Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? You know, tell y'all something. You know what's really interesting? Is I go on social media and I see people going viral. Some of y'all, here's the funny thing. There's a couple things that are funny to me. Y'all won't share this show, but y'all will share people going viral, giving advice that's not nearly as detailed as what I'm giving you right now. This show right now, I've done millions of shows. Well, really actually thousands of shows. And I've given y'all the greatest dating and relationship advice that's ever been given. And I'm saying that humbly, but it's just facts. Just this show alone is more valuable than anything you will hear anywhere or read in any book. And y'all won't even share this show, but you'll share somebody else who went viral, some pastor, some relationship guy who's going viral for things that I'm saying that aren't even as real as what I'm saying. Does that not seem to be? And I don't care about going viral. I don't. That doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. That's not how I live my life. But I'm just saying, there's a certain type of, and those same women sharing those same things. It's because it doesn't hit them like what I'm saying is hitting you in the gut. It's more women-friendly advice. I did a 2-disc CD, sold thousands of copies of it, but secretly, silently. What women need to know but don't want to hear. Who remembers that 2-disc CD I released in 2009, I want to say? 2008, 2009, 2-disc CD. Contained great information, but y'all bought it secretly, and y'all didn't share it, and y'all just... And that's fine, but it still doesn't change the validity of it. It's still just as valid. Just because it doesn't, it's not that Steve Harvey advice that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Let me ask y'all a question. Many of you guys have a sense of entitlement. And I think that sense of entitlement is what also keeps many women single. That sense of entitlement that I'm referring to is you feel like you are entitled to have a man based on what you have achieved. based on how you look. Because I spend a lot of time now that I'm thinking about it on women who don't look a certain way. But some of y'all actually look good. Some of y'all actually present yourselves with respect. So you're probably listening to this show and asking yourself, well, wait a minute. Why am I single? Okay, I get it. Some women have a high body count. I don't have a high body count. I don't dress like a stripper. I don't dress like a prostitute. I like to think my views are okay. I mean, yeah, I listen to Megan Thee Stallion. I like Cardi B. I thought, Kamala Harris there was nothing wrong with her inviting Megan Thee Stallion to the campaign rally. I mean, I think I'm a pretty good catch. But, so because of those views, you feel like you are entitled to a man. And I want to tell y'all that it has to be you. Like, you actually have to work. You ever watch one of my favorite shows, don't judge me, is The Bachelor. Right? It's The Bachelor. I like The Bachelor. And, every season you have like 30 women or so competing for the love and affection of one man. Now, people might look down on that and be like, oh, well, why are they all competing this and that? But the reality is that's life. Life for you women is a competition. Why? Well, because you say 30, that's a lot. Well, it's not really a lot, because over the course of a month period, back when I was single, I was going out multiple times a night, meeting five women every night. So if you do the math on that, so let's say I meet 5 women every time I go out. Let's say I go out 5 times a month, right? So 5 times 5, that's 25 right there. And it was actually more than that. You know what I mean? I went out more than 5 times a month, and I met more than 5 women most nights that I went out back in the day. So but for argument's sake, let's just say 25. So if at any given time in a month period, a man like myself is meeting and interacting with no fewer than 20 women, I'll take it down. Let's just say 20, which is really on the low end. But if we're interacting with 20 women, that would mean that you as the woman, and these are all professional women, these are all educated women, these are all sorority women, entrepreneurs, like whatever you do, they're women like you. Like, I don't want y'all to think these 20 are like the bottom of the barrel. They're all just like you. Sigma Gamma Rho, Delta Sigma Theta, Alpha Kappa Alpha, professional women, whatever, highly educated, master's degree, teachers, nurses. Nursing, there's a lot of nurses out here. These nurses be having their stuff together, boy. I tell you, they make a lot of money. But guess what? All this whole show still applies to you. So what I'm saying to you is, no matter what you have going on, you should not have a sense of entitlement, because he's also entertaining women just like you and probably look better than you. Did you know that? Like, back in the day when I was single, I used to only deal with, attractive women. No one who knows me can ever say, hey, I saw Dedan dealing with, on any level, an ugly woman or an unattractive woman. I've never dated an unattractive woman, ever. Never had sex with one. Never dated one. These dudes, I have sex with anybody. No, this was never me. I've never dealt with, on any level, an unattractive woman. You go through my dating history. If you know anything about me, the women I date were all beautiful women. Some more beautiful than others, but all very attractive women. And I'm just telling you that's what it is. It's not like I'm not saying it in a braggadocious way. I'm telling you this so that you understand. And I'm nobody special. There's men out there who look better than me, make more money than me, and whatever. So I'm telling you is, if I only dated attractive women, what do you think these Boris Kojo type dudes, or these Morris Chestnut type dudes, or these Michael Ealy type dudes, or you know what I mean? What do you think? What type of women do you think they're dating? You know? And so what I'm telling you, I'm giving you this information because it's if you have an attractive man, a successful man who has access and the ability to get multiple beautiful women, that would, common sense logic should tell you, you have to go above and beyond to differentiate yourself from those other women, I would think. If you're going up for a job and the recruiter has 200 candidates, you've got to go into that job interview and do something different than these other women, or these other applicants, right? It's the same thing with dating. I used to look at some of these women like, oh, okay, so you must be too busy for me. You must be out with your little girlfriend. I mean, yeah, I actually was, but I mean, like, when you gonna make time for me? You're too busy for me. I mean, yeah, I am. Like, actually, like, they would, like, when they dealt with me, it was like, I didn't play those games. You know what I mean? Like, you can't talk down to me. You can't try to, intimidate me or try to put me into this place beneath you like y'all do with some of these men. Oh, you got to do this. Like, I ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that was me. I was a little different. But some of these guys, they allow themselves to be manipulated and run through the hoops, jump through the hoops. Which are, oh, you got to do this. You got to take me here. You got to do this. You got to da-da-da. I can't. No woman could make me do anything. Why? Because I was always dealing with multiple women. So the problem is when you deal with these losers, these guys in the comments telling you how sexy you are and how they want to drink your bath water and chasing you all around the city, it's like, come on, man. They are losers. Any man who debates with me on social media is a loser. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm telling you that straight up. If you have a difference of opinion than me, you're probably a loser. People who agree with me and understand, like, if you're listening to this show and you're trying to formulate a debate to it, or you think that I'm crazy, then you're probably a loser. The people who get women, people who had no problem getting women and dealing with beautiful women, they're like, oh damn, this dude's speaking facts. But if you're a woman who is mad at this show, you are the intended target of this show. If you are a man who disagrees with this show, you are the type of man who cannot relate to anything that I'm saying. But one way or another, the information I'm giving you is 100% factual. This is not my opinion. This is 100% biblically based fact. You keep your legs closed, you will be in a better position to receive a husband. You go out here with a bad attitude, you go out here spreading your legs, promiscuity, you're not going to get the things that you pray for. So you can't tell me that's not biblical. You can't tell me, oh, no, he's tripping. No. Look at Proverbs 31. We talked about that yesterday in the Friends of the Dayton Tolbert Show group. Look at what the outline. I did a show on this years ago. You could Google it. Go to iTunes. If you look at what Proverbs 31 describes, look at the characteristics and the qualities of a virtuous woman as defined in Proverbs 31, and then you look around and ask yourself, are these women that? The Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find a virtuous woman? They're very rare. Who can find a celibate woman? Who can find a non-promiscuous woman? Who can find a woman with a low body count? Who can find a woman with a beautiful spirit that has not been tarnished by getting her heart broken over and over and over again as a result of spreading her legs. Who can find a woman like that? You think these women with these bitchy attitudes, you look at Charlemagne and The Breakfast Club, and you look at Jess Hilarious and Lauren LaRosa, these women have been ran through. Why do you think Jess Hilarious's attitude is so bad? It's like, come on, man. Like, you can look at her and tell, man. Multiple kids out of wedlock, getting dogged and dogged and dogged and dogged and giving her body up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is going to take a toll on you. Cursing at your kids, mean to your kids. That comes from the man not being there and the man being not treating you right, but it trickles down to you being mean to your kids, and then your kids hating you and not respecting you. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to have kids that can't respect you? The boys can't respect their mom because he sees men coming in and out of the house. The craziest thing, to this day, I'll never forget this. This is like probably the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I met this woman. I think I met her on, I want to say Black Planet, maybe. I think I met her on Black Planet. And very attractive. The epitome of my type, you know, physically, very, very attractive. And we got to talking or whatever. And she was like, yeah, you know, I have some kids, I have children. I was like, okay, how many kids you got? She said, oh, I got 5 kids. I said, damn. And then I was in my 20s. Like, damn, she might have been like 24, 23, 24. She had 5 kids. I'm like, damn, you got 5 kids. The craziest thing, she was like, well, look, I mean, if you want to just come over, you know what I'm saying? Because once I get them down, you know, you can come over. They'll be asleep. She's like, what time? She was like, no, like 8 o'clock. What kid you know goes to bed at 8 o'clock? What kid is asleep at 8 o'clock? I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, so now, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it over there. My point is this, and I never saw this woman. I never even met this woman in person. But based off of a couple conversations, this young woman with 5 kids wanted me to come to her house. Never took her out nowhere, never met her, never saw her in person. She knew nothing about me. I knew nothing about her other than the fact that she had 5 kids. She was going to and willing to allow me to come to her home with her 5 kids in there, have sex with her. And I guess somehow she thought I would magically, you know, take on a father figure role to her and her 5 kids. She must not knew nothing about me, because that's laughable. But my point is, like, that might seem extreme. Maybe you don't have 5 kids. Maybe you got 2 kids. Maybe you got 1 kid. But how many of y'all have done the same thing? Or would have been willing to do the same thing? You put your son down, you allow that man to come in. But the problem that you had is that you thought, or you pretended that those kids were asleep. You pretended they didn't hear the door unlock. You thought it's only a 2-bedroom apartment. How do you think they don't hear a man's voice in the next room? And God forbid, how do you think those 5 kids wouldn't have heard her getting her back blown out? Because I do my thing in the bedroom. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's TMI for y'all. I'm just saying. There's no way she was going to have those kids still be asleep. And your boy was in there putting in work next door. I'm just saying. That's outrageous. You getting your back blown out in the next room over from your 5 kids. And next thing you know, oh, she's pregnant. I just got something to tell you. I'm pregnant. But you were already pregnant. You were pregnant when I met you. From the last guy. What you mean you're pregnant? That's how men be ending up on Maury. That's the Maury part. I watch Maury still to this day. I watch Maury. And it's the most entertaining when you are not the father. Because these women be living these lifestyles You think I would have been the only guy to come over there that week trying to pin a baby on me? Not your boy. Not no sir. And pin a baby on me. But guess what? I'm just me. I was never pressed. But trust and believe, the way she looked, there's plenty of dudes that would have came over there. And I'm sure did come over there and tear that ass up. Her fertile ass. Baby number 7 by now. I guarantee that was 20 over 20 years ago. I bet you, I know she got more than 5 kids. You cannot tell me she don't have more than 5 kids. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all gotta stop this behavior. It's not intimidation. Oh, you don't want to come over because you're intimidated by my success. Sweetheart, I wasn't intimidated by her success. You think I was intimidated? I was intimidated by those kids. You know what I'm saying? I was intimidated by that DNA test. That paternity test. That's what I was intimidated. That child support court. That's what intimidated me. I said, oh, no, sir, not today. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying to you. So just because we don't want to get caught up in a situation doesn't mean we're intimidated by it. We just don't want it. Me personally, I never dated a single mom, ever. I've never had a girlfriend who had children. No disrespect. That's just was that like I never had a desire to be a stepfather. Ever. That just wasn't for me. I did not want to raise somebody else's kids. I wanted to raise my kids. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to say I did a special, one of my early specials, maybe 15 years ago, was on how to be a successful single mother. I actually do a course on this right now. Go to trclifecoaching.com. I do a course on this, on how to be a successful single mother. You know what I mean? Meaning being a single mom is not the problem, but staying a single mom is the problem, because those kids need a dad. Those kids need a father figure in their life. You know what I'm saying? So you are doing your children a disservice by not doing what you need to do to prepare yourself to be a wife. There's nothing wrong with the Brady Bunch family. If he has kids and you have kids, y'all come together, be one big happy family. But you still have to do what you have to do to present yourself in that way. I didn't want to be, what's the dude's name? The father Brady, whatever the dad's name, I forget, Bill Brady, whatever his name was. That wasn't for me, but it might be for somebody. But she would have to change her life prior to that. Can't be having dudes come over to the crib at 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, talking about something. They'll be asleep. What do you mean they'll be asleep? Nobody sleep at 8 o'clock? Come on, man. Let me ask y'all some more. I'm going to wrap it up, man. How long is this show, man? How long I've been on? I've been talking to y'all all morning, man. Let me ask y'all this. Some women, y'all feel like y'all's status or your job puts you above other women. And I'll tell you a quick story. And I tell women this all the time. A man will date a humble, submissive woman who works at McDonald's in a second. You think, oh, he just wants to do that because he's intimidated by my success. No, we just want a good woman. Doesn't matter if she works at McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. Them Chick-fil-A, women, they be friendly. They be humble. They be friendly. Probably be a submissive wife. Ain't nobody worried about you're a team leader. You be firing people for a living. You be like, yeah, come in, close the door, please. Yeah, so based on this quarter and based on your actions, we're gonna go ahead and let you go. Y'all be happy too when y'all be firing people. Y'all ever fire somebody? So I know some of y'all do. Some of y'all be in y'all jobs, man, in that office, your little business suits on. Y'all can't wait to fire these men. Yo, you want to fire your baby dad, but you can't. You know what? You were late, on this day, that day, and that day. So based on that, we're going to have to let you go. Yeah, y'all be, and maybe not you, but some of y'all know what y'all do, man. Y'all be happy. Y'all take that authoritative role over black men a little too seriously. A little bit too seriously. Y'all got to tone it down a little bit. You can do what you got to do in the boardroom, in the conference room. You order these guys around in the courtroom, whatever you do legally, whatever you do, leave that at the door. That's what my mom used to tell me. When you come in, leave all that at the door. Take it back wherever you should. I don't know where you got it from, but you better take it back where you got it. Shout out to my mom. Great mom. Amazing mom. You know what I'm saying? But that she wasn't arched over like Sierra's ass. Yo, I never had to worry about my mom being a hoe like some of these moms on social media. Some of y'all are despicable. You ever see that movie Despicable Me? No, Despicable You. Y'all are despicable with your asses out and y'all got kids at home. How you friends with your kids on social media and you got your ass out for them to see? That's despicable. My mom, my grandma, I never had to worry about that. Never had to worry about, my mom looked like a mom. My grandma looked like a grandma. Some of y'all moms and grandmoms are the ones out here getting smashed. I could not imagine that. I cannot imagine having a mom like some of the moms out here getting treated. It is outrageous. It's diabolical. And we wonder why society is so messed up. I'm not bashing women, but I am bashing the whores out here, the hoes out here who are horrible moms to their kids. If you think it's okay for Sierra to parade around stage half-ass naked, then you are most likely a horrible mom. If that does not make you like, damn, she got kids. If that doesn't make you like, yo, that's crazy. What are your kids doing? How are your kids looking at you if you think that's okay? Northwest still has to see her mom. Blue Ivy still has to see her mom with her legs and her crotch open on the internet. Blue Ivy can go on the internet right now and type in Beyonce crotch. And her Beyonce's crotch will come up. Nasty ass. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, man. I never had to worry about that. And I appreciate my mom for raising me in a way that I didn't have to see that. I mean, aside from the fact that my dad wouldn't tolerate that, but we're not, you see what I'm saying to you? We got to get back to that. We got to get back to stable two-parent households. Two-parent household, whether that's the step-parent or the actual parent, one way or another, we got to get back to that. And it starts with you, ladies. If you present yourself in a wifey, as wife material, a man will find you. Some of y'all are not wife material, though. So how is he going to find you? Let me ask y'all. So there's that. So y'all, I used to date this one. I'll tell you a story. This was years. I was probably late teens, early 20s. I was driving through McDonald's, and I met this woman, and she was beautiful, like long hair. She was like, looked like Salma Hayek, looked like Penelope Cruz. You know what I mean? She was like, she spoke Spanish, she spoke that Espanol. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have any money. I mean, she was dirt poor. She was staying with a family member in the city. She was from California, I believe. And but she was beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, you think I could talk to you? She said, okay, just swipe my card or whatever like that. I'm like, damn, this come with your phone number too? She smiled, nice, beautiful smile. She's like, it can. I was like, bet. Wrote down, and this is before the cell phones and all that. This was early, you know what I mean? Wrote down her phone number on the receipt. Called her up. We started dating. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling y'all these things because I don't know if it was the poverty, I don't know, or maybe it was just her. She was a very friendly young woman. She was a very humble young woman. Even if you go to, I went to the Dominican Republic. I also went to Costa Rica, and these are two very poor countries. But one of the things I've noticed over there is the women, they have this humility about them that is very different from what we see every day here in the United States. You know, it's just different. Women are different, and you know, women get on these men for going over there and finding a wife. They get on the men for feeling like they have to go outside of the country to find love. But it's like, I've seen it. I've literally seen the difference in mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. Not my wife is very humble. You know, it's a lot of great. I'm not saying you can't be humble here, but I'm just saying overall, there's a very noticeable difference with foreign women in those types of countries than what we see here. And it doesn't have anything to do with, oh, we're intimidated by this, or we want a white woman, or she has to be, you know, Caribbean. No, it has nothing to do with their ethnicity. It has to do with their personality. And that's what the point I'm trying to instill into y'all is that you have to be humble, you have to be kind, you have to be friendly. And, you know, culturally over there, they're more family oriented. There's not, we are the, I'll tell you something. We are the only race as black people where you will hear our women brag about being independent. We've had multiple songs. What is it? Neo, Miss Independent. That's why I love you. Get the hell out of here, Neo, weird ass. Nobody loves an independent woman. Like that's what I'm saying to you. INDEPEND. All this weird crap. Beyonce. What's the other one? Independent woman. All these quote unquote anthems have led to women being single. Those were songs that were popular when I was looking for a wife 20 years ago. All those songs are 20 years old, right? Fast forward, all those women who were in the club jamming to Miss Independent, Independent Woman, INDEPENDENT. Where are they now? Where are they now? You're in the club at 21, dancing to Miss Independent. How old are you now? 45, 46, 50 years old, single. Because that mindset stayed with you throughout those years, and that is not by design. That is by the rich white man, which I talked about on my last show, prior to the Greek life show. They want us to think like that because that mindset is what removes the men from the household. We will have sex with you, but we will not commit to you if you have that type of ridiculous mindset. We are the only race that glorifies a single independent mindset. Don't you ever for a second think that you're irreplaceable. Who says that? Who the hell says that to their men? Why do you think Jay-Z cheated on her ass? You tell a man he's irreplaceable, he's going to cheat on your ass. You keep telling a man, oh, you can get this to the left, and all this other weird crap. I can upgrade you. You can upgrade me. What? I'll upgrade you with Becky with the good hair, which is why he cheated, which is why all these women get cheated on. Y'all wonder why these men are cheating? Because they don't want a woman with that type of ridiculous mindset. Don't just wait. That's gonna blow your minds when y'all find out Russ been cheating this whole time. When the scandal hits, Russell Wilson and Ciara decided to go their separate ways. Ciara has filed for divorce. Papoose? Come on, man. Do y'all really think anybody would be faithful to Remy Ma? Like, come on. I'm conceited. I got a reason. What? You crazy? You look like you're horrible. Remy is horrible. She might be the most unattractive woman I've ever seen. And that's because of her. She shoots people. And y'all thought that was the definition of black love. Black love? What? You smoking crack? Maybe black crack love. not no real. Are you serious? I be like, oh my God. I'm conceited and I got a reason. That's a whole nother 2-hour show. No man in his right mind would be faithful to Remy Ma. I promise you that. No man in their right mind would be faithful to a woman that shoots people. Aggressive. Oh, I want to, like, she just hilarious. These women act like dudes. Were y'all really surprised when y'all people, oh my God, I can't believe Papoose and Remy broke up. I can't believe it. What are you smoking? You don't listen to my show? You haven't been listening to me for the last 20 years to know what these men really want? You think I've been doing this show all this time for my health? You think that that's what these men want is a woman like Remy Ma? Are you smoking? Are you crazy? What's Remy said? Are you dumb? That's what she like. Yeah, no, you're dumb if you think these men actually wanted Remy Ma. If you think Papoose was actually happy with Remy Ma, do you think that he wasn't? He held her down. Yeah, come on, man. You think he wasn't smashing other women? You think he's like, what did y'all think he was? Like Superman or somebody? Like, what y'all put these men up on a pedestal? Like, it's fine to put certain men up on a pedestal, but if you can clearly see that it doesn't make sense, like, no one would be faithful to Beyonce. No, you think Offset was going to be faithful to Cardi B with that weird-ass attitude, that nasty attitude? You crazy? Look at the women. All you have to do is look at the women, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about the man. If any man who deals with a Beyonce is a loser. You know what I mean? Look at Jay-Z's weird ass. Just Google his picture and you tell me he's not a weird ass. You know what I mean? I don't care how much money he has. Money doesn't make you not weird. You know what I'm saying? You can be weird and rich. You're still weird. Russell Wilson, guess what? He's a weird ass. I'm not hating, but he's a weirdo. You deal with a woman like that, there's something wrong with you. No normal man like myself is going to deal with a weird ass woman like that. Look at my wife and look at some of these other women and you kind of see the difference. Oh man, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. But I'm just, the McDonald's analogy, guys, I'm trying to let y'all know she was super cool. She was super humble. And don't think that because you make more money than some of these women, that puts you up on a higher plane than these women. Money does not, she was a better woman than probably 90% of these women out here. Okay? That claim they're great women. So just know that. Money does not make you successful. See, in other cultures, in African culture, your success was based on, last show I did, we talked about the Greeks. I talked about the other African cultures. But in African culture, your success as a woman is defined by your family. It's not defined by your individual accomplishments. It's not defined on how much money you make or how much education, how many certificates you have, none of that. It's defined by the success of your family, the status of your husband. Look at, it's the same in Proverbs 31. The woman's worth is defined by how great of a mom and a wife she is. If your husband is not respected in the streets and in the city, and your kids are YNs, young niggas out here with masks on, you failed as a parent. You failed. You're not successful. I don't care how much money you got. Your son is a young nigga. That's the craziest thing in the world. Some of these women out here complaining, I can't find a man, or these men are intimidated by me. Y'all sons are one robbing and killing. There were 13 shootings in Philadelphia this weekend. 13 shootings over the weekend. All from people under 17, under 20. Whose sons are these? Where are their parents? Who are their parents? I don't want to talk about from a general sense. No, specifically, who are their parents? I guarantee you, look at their parents. I mean, they're probably raised by single parents, single family household, raised in poverty, running around with the COVID mask on. COVID been over. They got masks on up to their damn eyeballs. Ladies, I swear to God, man, if you see your kids with these masks on, tell them to take the damn mask off. What's so hard about that? They're doing this to go rob people, kill people, or they don't want to be spotted by people trying to kill them. But either way, they're young niggas. They're gang members. Like, what's the problem? Like, why are we, you know what I'm saying? But that's all. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but don't be out here complaining that you can't find a man when your kid is out here robbing people. Your kid is the one on the corner, and you worried about a man. These women are so, and are more worried and concerned with finding a husband or finding a man to have sex with them than they are their own kids. Because you can't act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Just look at the murder rate. 70% of children are being raised in single parent homes. And it's 90% of the time not the dad raising that kid. Sometimes it is, but the vast majority of those single parent households, the young boy is being raised by a woman. How can you be raised to be a man when you're being raised by a woman? It doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense. And then we want to blame the cops when they finally, when somebody gets shot or whatever the case is, but he was a young nigga. What did you expect was going to happen? Like, it's like we're living in a Twilight Zone. Like, you know your son is a nigga. If you see your son tucking his damn sweatpants into his socks, he's a YN. You see him with the COVID mask on and COVID been over, you know what that is. You see him wear with the all black on. These kids got no color. No colors in their outfit, their wardrobe. All black every day. Walk around with the hood on. I see my son with the hood on. I say, man, you better take that damn hood off, bro. That damn hood off. Ain't no nigga. Ain't no YN. Think you talking to, man? I'll put a foot in his ass. I'll put a foot in my son's ass so fast if I ever caught him doing some of this niggerly behavior. But again, that's because I'm actually a father. Some of these kids ain't got no dad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. They ain't got no dad. No positive fatherly figures. And the mom is out there not even doing nothing but worrying about where her next piece of penis is coming from. I mean, it's like, I could be mad, but am I lying? Somebody put in the chat right now, what did I say in this entire show that's incorrect? Somebody tell me if I'm out of line or if I'm tripping or if I'm saying something that's incorrect. Let me know. And we can talk about it on the next show. But what have I said that's incorrect? So one last thing. As we look at this sense of entitlement, why will he have sex with me? I want to touch on two more things and I'm going to wrap it up. Submission. If you ever look at that term and wonder and ask yourself, what does it mean to you? We want a submissive wife. A submissive wife. Is that so hard? I'll tell you why it's so hard for some women, because as we talked about, as you get these accolades and you get this money and you get this status and this power and professionally, it's hard to submit to a man who doesn't make as much money as you do. If you're making $150,000, he's making like $60,000, $70,000. It's in your mind. It's like it's hard for you to, and you've been single for a while, doing this on your own, and you've been the breadwinner in your household. Maybe you're raising a son or whatever, and now you meet this man talking about be submissive. It's like it's not adding up to you. But biblically, it does add up. Biblically, it doesn't matter how much money a man makes. That doesn't determine whether or not you should submit to him. The Bible is what, the fact that he's your husband is what determines whether or not you should submit to him. I'm just being honest. And some of y'all, that word is like, that's a taboo word. Like, that word is like a curse word to some of y'all. Submission. You should submit to your husband. Or, watch this, I'm going to take it a step further. You should submit to a man who you want to be your husband. Because how do you expect to get to that point? I hear women say, okay, well, I'll submit to my husband, but he ain't my husband. Well, how do you expect to get to that point? How do you expect him to view you in that way if you never act like that? You know what I'm saying? If you never submit, if you never show yourself to be submissive, how do you expect him to view you as a wife? It doesn't just happen magically. You got to get to that point. You got to be vulnerable. Why is the term vulnerable such a bad word? I know why. Because you don't want to be hurt. You've been hurt before, right? You've been hurt before. So because you've been hurt, you've now closed off your heart. You've developed a wall around your heart. So now you're guarding your heart. Well, the problem with that is that a man can't get to you. He's not trying to beat the wall down. If you got an emotional wall up, it's going to stay up. I'm not trying to beat no wall. I'm going to go to someone else who doesn't have a wall up. What's special about you? I'm not worried about you breaking your wall down and trying to get to your heart. Like, that's too much work. Ain't nobody going through all that. I just told you we were meeting 5 different women every night who look better than you every single night. Better than you or just as good as you. So same qualifications. See, back when I was single, we were going out to the professional settings. If you guys, or if you're from Philly, early 2000s, mid 2000s, I was on that urban professional scene. The Black Lily, where the Roots and Jaguar Wright and Music Soul Child, India Ari, they would all come through on Tuesday nights. It was the 5 Spot. Who remembers the 5 Spot? Here in Philly, you guys are from the area. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That professional setting, back then it was like the Mecca for beautiful professional urban women. This wasn't the ghetto crowd. This wasn't the hood rats. This was like if you were you back then trying to go out to meet a nice guy, you had to get dressed up to go out. Back in the day, I used to kill him with the Argyle on, the button up. I'll put the Argyle sweater over top. Then I would put the blazer on top of that. You see a beautiful, handsome face like this with the Argyle sweater and the blazer? And if I really felt like killing them that night, I would throw in a little tie with it too. I would throw in a tie with the Argyle. Oh my gosh. Well, not the tie with the Argyle, but a tie with the regular sweater vest, like a sweater vest or just a regular V-neck sweater with the... Oh man, come on, man. Yeah, I can't... I can give away my tricks now, but it was like back then it was... You throw that on, it was a wrap. Back in then, these dudes could barely dress. They were coming out. That was when the jerseys trend was on the way out. Remember Jay-Z came out with the button ups. What was the song? But anyway, whatever it was, that was the song that changed that trend. Everybody's wearing football jerseys and basketball jerseys. He came out with the button ups on. Next thing you know, everybody started wearing the button ups. I took it to another level though. I threw in the blazer. You have any idea how many women I was able to get just from the blazer, just from the Argyle sweater? It was over. So all I'm trying to tell y'all is y'all can't have this mindset of it's just me and I'm gonna be not vulnerable. I'm gonna have this guard up. I just told y'all I was getting 5, 6, 7 numbers a night. So you had to show yourself where I might get your number and delete it by the next. I might have one conversation with you. Oh man, delete. You know what I'm saying? And then move on to the next one. So just know that you have to be vulnerable and you have to allow yourself to be led. That means being submissive to the right man. Now, don't be submissive to a loser. I mean, that should go without saying. That's common sense. Obviously, you're not going to submit to a loser or a guy that's a bum. But if you meet a nice guy who you think could be your husband or be a great husband and a great father, then you might want to submit to him. You know what I'm saying? You might want to show yourself to be submissive. Don't be a hard ass. Don't be combative, argumentative, confrontational. These are the things that no man wants to deal with, ever. No man wants to deal with a combative woman. What did the Bible say? I forget the verse, but it said, what did it say, man? The Bible says a man is better off than to tying something around his neck and basically throwing himself off the side of a building than to have a nagging and quarrelsome wife. I gotta find the actual, but I'm paraphrasing the Bible. But that's the scripture. Basically, a man would rather kill himself than to deal with a nagging and quarrelsome wife. That is a biblical scripture. Somebody put it on the chat if you look it up for me. That's the scripture. So, I mean, that should tell you everything you want to know. Are you a nagging and quarrelsome wife or woman? If so, you're never going to have a godly man. Because again, the Bible says no man wants that. No man wants that. So obviously he's not going to send a godly man you if you're nagging and quarrelsome. It just doesn't make sense. So the last thing I want to say, the very last thing, this was a long outline. I didn't think it was going to be this long of a show, but the very last thing I'm going to say is this. And I kind of touched on it a little in the beginning, but there is a difference. Does anyone know the difference between, three things. There's promiscuity, there's abstinence, and then there's celibacy. Okay? There's promiscuity, celibacy, and abstinence. So obviously promiscuity is when you're just out there having sex, right? You're just having sex. There's no, like, you don't have a barometer for, or any guideline for who you're going to have sex with or who you're not. It's just like, if you like them, you have sex with them, right? You're promiscuous. And that's how the body count goes higher. How we talked about the body count and the effect of the high body count earlier. But you're not going to have limits. And that way, if a man does what he should do or say what he needs to say, he's going to be able to get that ass, right? That's called being promiscuous. Some of y'all are promiscuous. So if you listen to the show in its entirety, you should know the effect of promiscuity in regards to finding a husband. But this is where it gets a little complicated. Some of y'all claim to be celibate. Some of y'all claim to be abstinent. But in reality, you're neither. You're actually just not having sex. You haven't met anyone that you want to have sex with. Let me give you an example. Say you have a baby's dad, right? Your child's father. You've been dealing with him on and off for the last 11 years. And, every once in a while, he'll come over to see the kid and you might just give him some ass. Why? Because he might have said the right thing. He might have bought the kid some sneakers and, you haven't gotten none in a while. She say, what the hell? I'm comfortable with them. And you let him hit it raw. Despite the fact y'all aren't in a relationship, he's got a whole nother girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? He's out here doing his thing. But because he's been in your life for the last 11 years, you let him come over and hit it raw. Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any damn sense to you? Just on that level. Can we just stop there for a second? How dumb is that? and you wonder why these STDs, because we already established he's having sex with other women. He has a whole nother girlfriend. So why are you having sex with him, period, let alone having sex with him raw? That makes no sense whatsoever. But yet you do it. So there's that. So there's this guy that that he has sex with you periodically. But then, you might go, y'all might get into it, y'all fight, you're not speaking to him. Now you block him, so now he's got an email you, I'm coming to pick up my son. I want to see my son. Okay, you text back, okay, he'll be outside, just come pick him. Like, bro, this is the father of your child, you emailing him? This is crazy. He's got to go through your mom just to see his son? Y'all got to be able to work together, but... So you go through that, right? And then you go through maybe months of just not dealing with anybody. You go to work, you come back, you deal with the kids. That's not celibate. That's not celibate, ladies. Or you might go on a date with this one dude, 4 months into that 7-month period. You go on a date with him, you end up giving him some ass, but then he acts stupid, so then y'all fall out, then you go back to that same cycle. That's not celibate. That's just not dealing with anybody. That's just not dating nobody. My point that I'm making is y'all got to start being honest about what you are. Celibacy, abstinence is, you're just not having sex. You're choosing to not have sex, right? I'm abstinent. I live a lifestyle of abstinence, meaning I just don't have sex. Nobody's abstinent. The priest is abstinent. The nun, she's abstinent, but you just haven't met nobody yet that you feel like having sex with. Some of y'all are incorrectly using these terms. Celibacy is when you are a true woman of God. You have made a vow to God that I am saving myself for marriage. I am going into every dating situation, not with the, 90-day rule. Steve Harvey's a clown for that. The 90-day rule has gotten millions of women dogged. But you know that by now. I told y'all that 20 years ago. Y'all wanted to argue and debate with me. And now look where the 90-day rule got you. All those Facebook debates, all those arguments that we had 20 years ago, some of y'all who debated with me are still single. Who debated with me 20 years ago and is happily married? I guarantee not one. Not one person who's ever debated with me is happily married. I'm just saying. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I've been doing this a long time. Listen to what I'm saying to you. No one who's ever debated with me about any dating and relationship topic is happily married right now. Somebody prove me wrong. That's crazy. Anyone who's ever debated with me and argued with me or blocked me or I had to block or delete like that, they're single. To this day, 20 years later. That's crazy, right? That's really crazy. But what I'm saying to y'all is, if you listen to this advice, if you take a vow and follow biblical teachings, biblical-based advice, but also specific biblical teachings, that is the only way to have love. It's not about being intimidated by you. You're just not what God wants for me. You're talking about what God wants for you. It's not about you. It's would God bless a godly man with you? The answer to that question more often than not is no. Is no. Why? Well, for the reasons that we talked about this whole show. So celibacy, if you're going to, don't claim it if you're not really about it. If you're really celibate, then be celibate. Don't be afraid to tell these men. I tell this story all the time. I dated a young woman. This always stand out to me. Young woman I dated. I really liked her. She really liked me at the time. And we went out to dinner and she said, "Hey, Dedan, I got to tell you something." I said, "What?" She's like, no, I'm really afraid to tell you. I said, nah, I mean, I like you. Like, what do you got to tell me? She's like, no, like, if I tell you what I'm going to tell you, you might really, like, stop messing with me. I'm afraid to tell you this because I don't want to mess things up. I don't want you to be turned off by me. I really, I was like, trust me. Like, there's pretty much nothing you can tell me that would turn me off to you. And she's like, well, like, I'm celibate. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. What else? Like, what else is it? She's like, no, that's it. I'm celibate. Like, I'm not having sex. Like, I want to be married. I want the next person that I deal with to be my husband. And so I've made this vow that I'm just not going to have sex. I said, that's what's up. Like, I said, that's all you want to tell me? She's like, yeah, I'm just scared to tell. She's like, no, because I've told men that before, and it's been a turnoff to them, and they stopped talking to me. I said, oh, that's what I wanted to hear. See, and that's what y'all got to understand. That is the type of woman that men are looking for. Don't be afraid to actually be celibate, because some of y'all are, and again, this is all connected to the overall topic. He'll have sex with me, but not marry me. Well, we won't even have that problem if you don't have sex with them. You can't, I told women this for a long time. Rarely, and you can even say pretty much never, but I'll say rarely, do you have to worry about getting your heart broken by a man you don't even have sex with? Just ask yourself this right now in this moment. Think about it. Take your worst heartbreak. Take the worst situation you've ever been in with a man and ask yourself. Well, first of all, you had sex with him, right? But ask yourself, if you remove the sex from that, it wouldn't have been that bad, right? It would not have been on the level that it is had y'all not had sex. So hopefully let that, allow that to be a cautionary tale when dating. You don't have to sleep with everybody. And then all these other subtopics that come about as a result of the sex, you don't have to worry about. You know what I mean? I tell women every day, the games men play will be null and void. The games we as men play to you will be null and void if you don't have sex. Because the games are to get sex, right? The games that men and women play are to the man to try to get sex and the woman to try to not have sex. And so it's like this tug of war that the men and women go through. But if you let it be known from the jump, hey, I'm not having sex, what kind of game can I really play with you? The game is about sex. It's a sex game. I did a show on that. Me and Gerald Howard back in the day, we did a show on sex games. It was literally entitled Sex Games. And we talked about all the sexual games that exist with men and women, that men and women play when dating. Classic show back in the day. That was 20 years ago. Wow, man, time flies. On from 9 o'clock to midnight, talking about sex, but from the realist perspective. So, man, like I said, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up, man. I didn't expect this show to be that long, but I did want to dispel some of these rumors and these myths and misconceptions about men being intimidated by your success. If you listen to this show, you should know by now that it's not about intimidation. It's about a bunch of other stuff as to why he's not wifing you up and not committing to you and dealing with this one and that one, but it's not intimidation at all. I can promise you that. So appreciate y'all for listening in. Add yourselves to the Friends of the Dayton Tolbert Show group. Check out trclifecoaching.com. That is my website for the life coaching. If you want a free consultation, you want to hear how to be a successful single mom, you want to find out how to have love, how to mold yourself into the type of woman that a man would want to marry and settle down with, email me at askdayton@gmail.com. There's also a site, a section on the site to contact me, and follow me on social media, Facebook. We have great conversations online. Check out the YouTube. I'm not really on TikTok and all that other stuff, but you can follow me there as well, man. So I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.